Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
He's the head of the KKK. He's gonna lynch my baby. He's gonna kill her.
Traumatic and racist behavior this past school year in Valley City is forcing a young girl to live away from her mother.
The mom says she went to the school and police for help with the bullying, and while there was some resolution, it wasn't enough to make her daughter feel safe at the middle school.
The mom reached out to our whistleblower hotline, asking Valley News Live's Veronica Marshall to find answers about their family's battle against bullying.
Making whipping sounds as if they're whipping you when you're walking by. Someone that you physically had to hide from in the hallways to keep him away from you.
Nikita Shipp explains what her 14-year-old daughter endured over the last year and a half at Valley City Middle School. And it isn't only her daughter who has been hurt.
I have been deeply impacted. Sick, very sick. Because I don't know how to help my own child through this.
Shipp went to school leaders for help. The boy was suspended for the last 4 days of school, which Shipp says isn't good enough.
4 days does not equate to bullying and racial slurs for a whole year and a half.
After that, Shipp reached out to police for help. Chief Phil Hatcher tells us the investigation is over and the findings have been forwarded to juvenile court. But criminal defense attorneys tell us those results may not satisfy the Valley City mother.
Our criminal justice system is not about the victims, and it shouldn't be.
When it comes to children in court, attorneys say it's about what's best for the accused.
It's not about punishment, it's not about retribution, it's about rehabilitation, welfare, and treatment. When you're an aggrieved parent, you don't want to hear, what's in the best interests of the child accused of bullying or harassing or assaulting your child.
So far, it hasn't been enough for Shipp's daughter. She's moved to Minnesota, and her mom says she won't come back until she can feel safe in her own school.
I don't expect her to process that and get over it in the summer.
In Valley City, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
Shipp adds that she reached out to the NAACP and Black Lives Matter for help as well. And remember, you can contact our whistleblower hotline if you need help with a serious issue in your community. Call 701-237-6576 and leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it.
Tornadoes tore through many parts of Iowa today, leaving behind significant amounts of damage. One tornado ripped through Marshalltown this afternoon, a city of about an hour. It's northeast of Des Moines. The tornado uprooted trees and ripped roofs off their houses. 9,800 people in the city are without power. The hospital in Marshalltown was hit by the tornado around 5 this evening, leaving behind structural damage and forcing staff and patients to evacuate. There were no reports of injuries. The severe weather is now winding down, but the town is left with quite a bit of damage.
Certainly nothing like that as serious. I know that earlier tonight, Hutch and Robert Hahn were keeping an eye out for any problems that might pop up here. Let's find out if they spotted any and what's happening right now. Hutch?
Well, we did have some spin in our atmosphere tonight and a couple of funnel clouds sighted across the region. This one captured north of Langdon, a long rope-shaped tornado. Funnel cloud that was dipping out of the clouds. Most of the showers in northern parts of the valley have shifted south, and some of this rain out towards Carrington and Jamestown right now, moving to the south and east at about 35 miles per hour. It has rained all evening in Lakes Country, and showers that are located north of I-94 will be heading into waterlogged areas of southeast North Dakota over the upcoming hour, where we already have estimates of 3 to 5 inches of rain, where you see the oranges and yellows. Also, south of Fargo, towards the Breckenridge area and Fergus Falls, some significant rainfall totals. There are flood advisories in place for these areas. Our hour-by-hour forecast shows as we go through the next couple of hours, the aerial coverage of the rain diminishes as the showers continue to drift south and east. Temperatures in the 60s this evening. We'll have details on some more rain showers in your Friday forecast. Have a look toward the weekend ahead here in a moment. But as far as risk for severe, I think we're all but done with that for the late night hours.
Comforting to hear. Thanks.
Yeah.
A suspect has been identified in the death of a corrections officer inside a Minnesota prison. Authorities say the suspect's name is Edward Johnson. They allege Johnson attacked Officer Joseph Gaume at the Minnesota Correctional Facility in Stillwater. Johnson is currently serving a 29-year prison sentence for murder for stabbing a 22-year-old woman in the bathroom of his apartment back in 2002. Gam was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. The investigation is ongoing. The prison remains on lockdown.
2 officers were injured during an encounter with a suspect in South St. Paul today. Police say the suspect fired a shotgun and 2 officers sustained non-life-threatening injuries. The officers did return fire but did not strike the suspect. One officer was hit in the shoulder, the other was hit near his leg. Police say the initial call that came in was for a missing persons report. Officers did respond to the scene, began gathering information, and that's when the situation escalated from there. The suspect who shot at the officers is in custody. He was not injured in the incident.
Some people here in the Valley became concerned after seeing a sign at the Pita Pit on 13th Avenue South in Fargo. It says, "Barefoot Friendly Establishment. We gladly accept you for being you." And it's signed by the management. We talked with a manager, and she says she put the sign up last week in response to being kicked out of the Frying Pan with her son for not having shoes on. And we found out that unless it's part of the business policy, you don't have to have shoes on as a customer.
The patrons, I mean, if they're going to have bare feet, you're not going to, you're not going to get transferred anything off their foot to your plate unless it's intentional.
It is very much a very personal thing. And if someone thinks that you're dirty because you're barefooted, that's based on them. They're the dirty-minded one, in my opinion.
We reached out to the Frying Pan, and they say they don't have a policy but are working on it. Cheatley says she put up her sign to make sure all of her customers feel welcome in her restaurant, shoes or not.
Fargo South High School will be getting artificial turf for its football and soccer field thanks to a $1.2 million donation. The installation will occur this summer and early fall, allowing for some home games for the 2018 season to be played on the new field. In its announcement, the school district indicated that the donors wish to remain anonymous. The installation of the field will provide an upgraded playing surface for athletic teams and additional opportunities for use by physical education classes.
A Trump administration initiative aims to fill American jobs with American workers. Valley News Live has an exclusive interview with Ivanka Trump on what she calls a crisis in the American workforce.
Up next, a fast food giant that says it will give you free food if you use its app.